Travis Kelce utterly speechless after Taylor Swift's Thanksgiving bombshell. Asterisk a fictional story by T&T Fairytale and Fiction asterisk. Thanksgiving at the Swift family estate was always a grand affair. This year, Taylor Swift had invited her new beau, NFL star Travis Kelce, to join the festivities. Travis, known for his confidence on and off the field, was eager to make a good impression. The dinner table buzzed with laughter, stories, and delicious aromas, but Taylor's demeanor was unusually composed. After dessert, a perfectly baked pumpkin pie courtesy of Taylor herself, Taylor stood up, tapping her glass with a fork. The room fell silent. "I have something I'd like to share," Taylor began, her gaze moving from her parents to Travis. "This year has been full of surprises, and I'm thankful for all of you. But tonight, I want to talk about a surprise that changed my life." Travis grinned, expecting her to gush about their whirlwind romance. He was used to being the center of attention, but what came next knocked him off his chair, almost literally. Taylor pulled out a small, antique box from behind her chair. "This belonged to my great-grandmother," she said, opening it to reveal an elegant, handwritten letter. "It's a family tradition to share it when someone discovers their true path." The room filled with murmurs of excitement as Taylor read aloud. "To my great-grandchild, there will come a time when you must make a choice. Follow your heart, even if it leads you away from the spotlight. You are destined to change the world in ways you cannot yet imagine. Trust yourself." Asterisk. As she folded the letter, her voice softened. "I've been thinking a lot about this. And I've decided to step away from music for a while." Travis's jaw dropped. "Wait, what?" Taylor continued, her eyes locked on his. "I love music, but I've always felt there's more I'm meant to do. I've been working on something behind the scenes, helping communities rebuild after natural disasters, supporting underprivileged artists, and funding women's education programs. I want to dedicate myself fully to this work." The room erupted in applause, but Travis sat frozen. He wasn't just shocked by her announcement, he was floored by her resolve. This wasn't the Taylor who wrote love songs in her bedroom. This was Taylor Swift, the visionary. Later that night, as the party dwindled, Travis finally found his voice. "Taylor, I'm proud of you, but what does this mean for us?" She took his hand. "It means I'll need your support more than ever. You inspire people every day, Travis. Together, we can do something truly extraordinary." For the first time in his life, Travis Kelce was utterly speechless. And for the first time, he didn't feel the need to speak, just to stand beside the woman who had redefined what it meant to follow your dreams. Travis Kelce utterly speechless after Taylor Swift's Thanksgiving bombshell. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and the nation's attention was divided between feasts, family gatherings, and the sizzling headlines surrounding pop sensation Taylor Swift and NFL star Travis Kelce. The couple had kept things relatively low-key for months, their romance a headline in tabloids but more of a hush-hush affair among their inner circles. That was until this Thanksgiving. Taylor had been spending the holiday with her family at a picturesque mansion in upstate New York, with Travis joining her for the festivities. From the outside, it seemed like another cozy holiday, football games in the background, laughter filling the house, and endless plates of mashed potatoes. But things were about to take an unexpected turn. It all started when Taylor's father, Scott Swift, pulled Travis aside after dinner, his voice barely above a whisper. "You know, Taylor's always been full of surprises. You're about to see another side of her. You might want to sit down for this." Travis raised an eyebrow, confused but amused. The idea of Taylor having surprises wasn't anything new. She had a history of dropping bombshells in the most unexpected ways. But what could possibly be so shocking on a quiet holiday? As the evening progressed, Taylor seemed quieter than usual. Her eyes danced with mischief, and there was a certain energy in the air. It was clear that something was coming, something big. After dinner, everyone gathered in the living room for the traditional holiday games. But Taylor, with a secretive smile, stood up and took the floor. The room fell silent as she addressed her family, and Travis could feel the tension building. "Ladies and gentlemen, I have something I need to share," she began, her voice steady but brimming with excitement. "And Travis, I promise, you'll be just as shocked as everyone else." Travis swallowed hard, unsure if he should laugh or be concerned. The way Taylor's eyes twinkled, he knew this wasn't going to be just another heartwarming speech. She paused dramatically, letting the anticipation build. Then, with the kind of flourish only Taylor Swift could pull off, she dropped the bombshell. "I'm pregnant." The room went completely silent. Travis's face froze. His mind tried to catch up with the words he had just heard, but it was as if his brain had momentarily short-circuited. Taylor's parents, who had been in on the news for weeks, exchanged knowing glances, trying to suppress their excitement. Taylor herself looked both proud and amused at the stunned silence. Travis, utterly speechless, just blinked at her. "Wait, what?" She nodded, her smile widening. "We're having a baby, Trav." The gravity of the moment hit him like a ton of bricks. Here he was, standing in front of his girlfriend's family, hearing that his life was about to change forever, and yet, his brain could barely process it. Wait, how long, when? Travis stumbled over his words, unable to form a coherent sentence. His mind was reeling, the Thanksgiving turkey, the cranberry sauce, the football game they just watched together. All of it seemed to blur into the background. Taylor laughed softly, her hand resting on her stomach. "Surprised? Yeah, I figured that would be the reaction. We've been keeping it a secret for a while. But, Travis, you're going to be a dad." He finally managed a nervous laugh, looking around at everyone in the room who was grinning at him. His mouth opened and closed, like a fish out of water. A dad? The thought hadn't even crossed his mind, let alone in the context of his whirlwind romance with Taylor Swift. Wow, he muttered, still processing. Taylor leaned in close, her voice soft. "We can talk more about it later. But, are you happy?" For a moment, the whole world seemed to stop. The music in the background, the laughter of the other guests, it all faded. It was just Travis, Taylor, and a new chapter in their lives. The stunned look on Travis's face slowly transformed into a grin, the enormity of the surprise sinking in. He finally nodded, his hands trembling slightly. "Yeah, I'm happy. I think I'm happy. This is just a lot to take in all at once, you know?" Taylor kissed him on the cheek, the warmth of the moment melting any tension that had built up. The rest of the room erupted into cheers, and for the first time in hours, Travis found himself able to breathe again. But as the evening wore on, and the realization settled in that his life was about to be flipped upside down, Travis couldn't shake the look on Taylor's face. She was glowing, not just with the news of the baby, but with the excitement of a future that was now unfolding in front of them. Title: Travis Kelce utterly speechless after Taylor Swift's Thanksgiving bombshell. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and the air in Kansas City was crisp, with the holiday spirit in full swing. The city was bustling, but Travis Kelce, star tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, had something else on his mind. He sat at his kitchen table, a steaming cup of coffee in his hand, scrolling through his phone absent-mindedly. The past few weeks had been a whirlwind, with his blossoming relationship with Taylor Swift making headlines everywhere. It had been intense, exciting, and, at times, overwhelming. Taylor had come to Kansas City for a quiet holiday, a break from her intense tour schedule. They'd spent the day together, laughing over turkey, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie at Travis's home. The night had been cozy, filled with playful banter and intimate moments. But Taylor was about to drop a Thanksgiving bombshell that would leave Travis utterly speechless. As the evening grew darker, Taylor looked at Travis with a mischievous glint in her eye. They were sitting side by side on the couch, and her usual charm was replaced by a quiet intensity. Travis raised an eyebrow. "What's going on, Tay? You seem different tonight." She bit her lip, hesitating for a moment before speaking. "I have something to tell you, Travis," she said softly, her voice almost a whisper. "And I think this is the right time." Travis, ever the playful guy, grinned. "I thought I already knew everything about you," he teased, nudging her with his elbow. "What's this, another surprise?" Taylor took a deep breath, her fingers brushing against his. "I've been thinking a lot about our future, and there's something you need to know about me." "Something personal." Travis's playful smile faded into a curious frown. He watched as Taylor stared at the floor, her usual confidence replaced by vulnerability. She took another deep breath and then looked up at him, locking eyes. "You're not going to believe this," she started. "But I've been thinking about getting a little more serious about us." Travis blinked, not quite sure where this was going. "Serious? What do you mean?" Taylor stood up and walked over to the window, her back to him as she spoke. "I know we've been enjoying the fun, the magic, and the romance, but there's something you don't know. I've been talking to a lawyer about a big change." His heart began to race. "A lawyer? Tay, what's going on?" She turned around slowly, a serious look on her face. "I'm thinking about buying a house here. Not just any house, Travis. A place where we could live together, maybe even build a life." The words hung in the air like an electric charge. Travis was frozen, staring at her in shock. His mind raced as he tried to process what she had just said. Was she serious? A house? Together? For a moment, it felt as if time had stopped. The whole world seemed to go silent, and Travis was utterly speechless. He opened his mouth to speak, but nothing came out. His heart pounded in his chest, and the realization of what she had just shared sank in. Taylor was all in. This wasn't just another fling or a casual relationship. She was envisioning a future with him. A real future. Travis stood up, shaking his head as if trying to shake the disbelief out of his system. Wait, hold on. A house? He stammered. You're saying you want to live here? With me? Taylor smiled softly, walking toward him. Yes, but I want you to know that this is about ***, not just some impulsive decision. I've never felt this way before. I've been thinking about this for a while now. I want a life with you, Travis. Travis's mind was spinning. Here he was, sitting across from Taylor Swift, the international superstar, and she was talking about buying a house and building a life together. He never expected this, not in a million years. Wow, he finally managed to whisper, still processing the gravity of her words. I don't know what to say. Taylor reached out and gently took his hand. You don't have to say anything right now. I just wanted to be honest with you. I don't want any more secrets, not with you. Travis stared at her, trying to wrap his head around it all. I guess I need a minute, he said, his voice barely audible. As Taylor nodded, giving him the space he needed, Travis walked to the window, looking out into the dark Kansas City night. His mind was racing, and his emotions were all over the place. He had thought he had it all figured out, his career, his love life, his future, but this was something entirely different. A house? Together? He chuckled nervously, still in disbelief. He'd been swept off his feet by her in more ways than one. But now, with Thanksgiving night winding down, he was left standing there, utterly speechless and with his world turned upside down.